All right, so I have a few updates to give you guys. All the NFL divisional round games have been played at this point, so let's jump over to the bracket. I'm sure you guys are all aware of who won and who lost and all the updates, but let's just touch on this real quick. So the Broncos beat the Bills 33 to 30. Patriots beat the Texans 28 to 16. Not a very good game overall. I'm going to talk about that. So the Seahawks beat the 49ers 41 to 6. That wasn't really much of a game. It was a beatdown from the beginning. The 49ers were just too banged up to really compete, which is unfortunate because I think they have a really good franchise and they have a really good team. So full health. The 49ers were fully healthy. I think that would have been a much better game. Next, we have the Bears and Rams. That could have gone either way. That went to overtime. The Rams pulled that one out 20 to 17. So a couple of updates I want to talk to you guys about. The Broncos and Bills game. Bo Nix is hurt.
So this was supposedly the play where Bo Nix snapped his ankle. It's kind of an awkward play at the end of the game. It's a second or third last play of the game, and he just has a quarterback run to the outside. Kind of a weird play to me because usually you can just do that with your running back or something like that. So I'm sure Sean Payton's regretting calling that play. Just kind of a freak accident that could have happened to anybody, but it happened to Bo Nix at the end of the game.
Really unfortunate there for the Broncos. They're going to be playing with their backup. I cannot pronounce his name, but I'm pretty sure he went to Auburn. Jarrett Stidham will be the starter going forward. So that is very unfortunate for the Broncos. So pretty much every Broncos team that I have with Bo Nix, it's going to kill my quarterback spot, unfortunately. First and foremost, I really feel for Bo Nix and the Broncos missing out on their quarterback, but it's also going to kill a lot of these best ball teams. During the regular season, if you draft a player for best ball or for drafts, I think you can get a replacement. I could be wrong on that. I know there's certain drafts and certain leagues that you can get a replacement player if a player is out. But I think for playoff baseball, that's your team. I do not think that you get a replacement player. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that I'm stuck with Bo Nix and whoever the other quarterback I drafted, such as Sam Darnold. So I'll touch on those teams in a few minutes. So the Patriots and the Texans, I was really disappointed by the Texans. Their offensively was just a complete train wreck. I mean, the defense played well enough for that game to have been won. CJ Stroud to me is just he just really struggled. Um, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I mean, it's just incredibly frustrating to watch him play football. I know his team was offensive line was struggling during that game. I know his running backs were struggling. They just had a hard time just getting anything done offensively. But that defense is something special, and most quarterbacks would kill to have a defense like that. And Stroud's over here barely able to complete his passes. These past two games from Stroud were just unacceptable from a playoff caliber quarterback. If they had started Davis Mills in the second half, I would not have been surprised. In fact, I don't think it could have gone any worse. And I think other fans felt that way too because I was on Reddit and I was reading the comments and things like that. So a lot of fans were very disappointed by the whole showing on the offensive side of the ball, and it's very unfortunate because I think the Patriots were very beatable. It's not like Drake May beat the brakes off of them. They started pulling away toward the end. Once they realized, like, okay, the Texans just don't have anything to work with here. So it was just quite frankly, a very pathetic performance by CJ Stroud and the entire offense. They need to do better from here going forward. Another thing too I'd like to touch on is Ohio State quarterbacks. They just seem to struggle at the NFL level for whatever reason. Ohio State's obviously has a top tier talent on every position, just about consistently competing for national championships. But for whatever reason, the quarterbacks just seem to can't process the game at a high level. They can't seem to make reads. They can't seem to throw very well. Again, I recognize you have to consider Nico Collins was out and the weather was also an issue. But I mean, somebody has to step up. Somebody has to make plays. Somebody has to be able to make these 5, 10, 15-yard throws. And he's just not able to do that yesterday. And he struggled last week as well, horribly against the Steelers, with all those fumbles and everything like that. So, I mean, he just really did not play well this playoff. So, I mean, I'm sorry to drag on about that, but I mean, I really thought the Texans had a decent shot at least make the AFC conference finals. So it was just pathetic in my opinion. So going back to the Broncos and Bills game, it was announced earlier that Sean McDermott has been let go. He's been fired. To me, he's been there for 9 years, and yeah, he's never really had a chance to really go for the Super Bowl. But this past performance, to me at least, maybe he didn't get the team ready. Maybe he didn't get the offensive design the way he wanted it to. But to me, he's a defensive-minded coach. I felt they played well enough on defense to keep him in that game. I mean, Josh Allen in the offense had 5 turnovers, if I recall correctly. They at least had 4 or 5. So, I mean, the fact that that game went to overtime and they almost had a shot to win the game, I mean, I don't really think that's on Sean McDermott. I feel like he did about everything he could possibly could. Anytime you have 3, 4 turnovers in a game, it's just very hard to win a football game, especially in the playoffs level. You know, um, but I recognize that Sean McDermott's been there 9 years and he's never really gotten them over that hump. So I mean, maybe the Bills feel that they can do better. But to me, it's more of a roster construction issue. It's more of a talent issue to me more so than a Sean McDermott issue. But hey, I guess the writing was on the wall at this point, so I can understand it. I'm going to be curious to see who they end up getting. I mean, it's going to be Clint Kubiak or somebody else, but I mean, I imagine they have the pick. They can pretty much pick whoever they want. I mean, who wouldn't want to coach Josh Allen and James Cook? So that'll be exciting to see who they end up with. But yeah, I feel for Sean McDermott. I feel for Josh Allen too. I mean, they just had a hard time. So Seahawks are rolling, man. There's really just not a whole lot to say about that. I was very proud of Kenneth Walker. I had him on my fantasy team during the regular season. Um, he was greatest beneficiary from this game. I mean, I think he had 35 points, fantasy points. Zach Charbonnet had the injury, and of course, in the regular season, they had been splitting carries, and Zach Charbonnet was getting a lot of the goal line work, the red zone work. So Kenneth Walker kind of made his made his presence known during this game. And then the Bears and Rams. The Rams, man, I really thought they would beat the brakes off of every opponent this in the playoffs so far, like the Panthers and then the Bears. I feel like they've had just very close games. It could have gone either way. I mean, the Panthers came down to that final drive, and then the Bears. I mean, they had that incredible pass, Cole Kmet, which was, I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, you guys just need to sit to play if you haven't. Excuse me. You guys just need to sit to play if you haven't seen that play. I mean, it's just, I mean, Caleb Williams. I mean, once he gets going in the next few years, I'm going to be very excited to see how he shapes up. So, unfortunate for the Bears, but the Rams pulled out another close one, and they'll face the Seahawks here. I'm thinking the Seahawks. If the Rams continue to play like they've been playing the last 2 weeks, I see no reason why the Seahawks can't win this round 3 matchup against the Rams. I know they played each other 3 times, so I think there are a lot of people are excited for uh, this third game that they played against each other. The Broncos and Patriots, man, that could really go either way. I mean, the Patriots could easily beat the Broncos. I mean, it just who knows with their quarterback issue situation playing out now. So the Patriots may end up back in the Super Bowl again. So I mean, so let's talk about some of these teams that I've had so far. I got some good news and I got some bad news. So the YouTube team 3 that we drafted together, there you are. Unfortunately, our teams are all dead now. It scored 52.98. CJ Stroud really blew it for us on this one. So Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Kyron Williams, Corum. Kyron had a really nice game, 25-70. That's outstanding. Corum, 190. And then Puka had a 870 game. Of course, Nico Collins did not play. Well, that's another thing, too. I mean, do you really feel like Nico Collins would have been a difference maker in the Texans offense? Do you really think if he had played, if Schultz had not left the game early, do you think they would have had do you think that would have made a difference in the outcome? I mean, you let me know. I think it's possible, but the way Stroud was playing, I don't know about that. I think it was an accuracy issue. I think it was he can't really do anything during that game. So had Nico Collins, Brian Thomas, Parkinson, Strange. So just didn't really have a whole lot of firepower this past week, and unfortunately we were done. But Kyron Williams played outstanding. So I want to call something out here. So Davis Maddock actually has a YouTube channel, and I watch a lot of his stuff, and he's got a lot of good content, and he's quite fascinating, really. he's always drafting players. He's always talking about the league and stuff like that. So I would recommend checking out his channel. I hope I said his last name correctly. I struggle with names. So he had Josh Allen, Caleb Williams, Kyron Henderson, Kincaid, Goddard, Burden, Rome, and then DJ Moore. So he's missing a lot of his players now, but he did come out on top. So he's in first place. So props to him. I think he has a lot of other teams too. So that's probably not the only team he has remaining. So so let's talk about the teams that did survive. So we're going to talk about the mitten three teams that I had. So this one surprised me. It survived, but it's dead. Trevor Lawrence, Williams, Etienne, Kenneth Walker really carried this team, along with Caleb Williams. DeAndre Swift had 7 points. JSN had 940. Moore had 1450. So, hey, I'm glad I got some money back, but this team is unfortunately dead. Same thing with this team here, which is really frustrating here. It advanced. It was the one seed. It was the one first place score with 79.82, which is funny to me. So Josh Allen, very similar team. James Cook, Swift, Shakir, Kincaid. Kincaid had a great game. Loveland didn't crack it. Coleman, DJ Moore. Oh, DJ Moore did crack it. Okay, and then Rome was on that team as well. So that team's done as well. The third team that I have, this is it. Okay, so this is something I want to talk to you guys about. So the Rams spread team. So what was going on here? So I named it the Rams spread. So I committed to the Rams. I got Stafford, Kyron Williams, and then I got Kenneth Walker. That's awesome. So that's a really nice. It's a pretty sick matchup for me. And then I had Stevenson as well. Then scrolling on down, I had Puka Nakua, Dalton Kincaid, Kayshawn Booty, Parkinson, Keon Coleman, and then Shavers. So really what happened during this draft, if I recall correctly, usually commit to a team. So I clearly committed to the Rams with Puka and then just picked up the remaining pieces with Kyron and then Matthew Stafford. If Devontae Adams was on the board, I clearly would have taken him and Stafford. He wasn't on the board. I can tell you that with a fact right now. So that's clearly my first three picks right there. I probably was trying to figure out how to pivot, who to pick on the AFC side. So I had the Rams on the NFC, and I was probably trying to figure out who to pick on the AFC side. So I probably just got sniped and just, was like, screw it. I'm just going to pick some random players. So it looks like I just picked the Seahawks to kind of help out on the NFC side with Kenneth Walker. And then I picked Ramondre Stevenson, Kayshawn Booty, couple Patriots players, and I picked a couple Bills players, thinking that one of those two teams would advance deep. So it's an interesting team. For this team to survive, though, I'm going to need the Patriots to stay alive with the Rams. So Rams, Patriots for this one. So kind of an interesting team. But here's the other thing that I found really interesting. First place, this E Harris 555 guy. He had 102.22 points. We tied 102.22, which is, do you know how unusual that is? Also, this is one of the highest scoring teams I've had, 122 points. Like, that's, that sucks. So I think this is how it's going to play out. I looked at the rules real quick, but I want to touch on his team. So he had Josh Allen, comparing teams here. He had Josh Allen, Kyron, Kenneth Walker. So he had both those guys as well. Corum, Ty Johnson, Shakir, Loveland, Barner, Rome, and then Cooks. So he's missing a lot of his players for the next week. So here's how I think the rules will play out. And I think I can find it here. There's a tiebreaker. Yeah. There's a tiebreaker rule. So let's go here. Where are you at? Let me find this real quick. Maybe it's in scoring. Um, oh, there it is. I'm blind. All right, so ties. So ties that take place in advancement rounds will be broken by whichever entrant has the highest scoring player in that round. If entrants have the same highest scoring player or player with equivalent high scores, then it would go to the second highest scoring player or the player with equivalent high scores, then third, fourth, and so on, until one entrant has a higher scoring player than the other entrant. If they are still tied after that, then the entrant that entered the contest first will advance. So that's how that's going to play out. Let's take a look at this again. I am not sure. So I thought Ramadre had a pretty decent game. I guess I can pull it up on my phone. I thought Ramadre had a good game. I thought, let's see, Puka pretty had a good game. Then I'm not sure about these Bills guys. I think Keon was a little quiet. Same with Tyrell. So I think we're looking at Parkinson, Puka, and Ramadre, in my opinion. I think I'm going to see. Oh, that's next week. Um, let's go back here. I'm pulling up the scores on my phone. So let's see. Excuse me, Ramadre fantasy value. This may not be right. Ramadre Stevens had 12-10. So 12-10 compared to Puka. How many points did Puka have? That's always surprising he didn't crack. Puka had 11-20, so that was 12 and 11. Um, I imagine those two guys will probably outscore both those Bills. Let's find out the Bills. So Keon and then Shavers. All right, let's pull you guys up. I'm not sure if that's full PPR or half PPR. So where are you guys? All right, so Coleman had 8, so he's definitely not it. And then Shavers, I don't even see him on here. So he did he? Oh shit, he don't even play. I mean, when you're passing to Miko Hardman and Brandon Cooks and Curtis Samuel, it's like this is the team that you're working with. Like, no wonder they lost, man. Like, is that really a Sean McDermott issue, or is that a talent issue? A roster construction issue. So anyway, Blake Corum, let me pull that up real quick. I think I might have this if this is indeed Blake Corum. Ty Johnson, first off. Ty Johnson had 0, so I'm good there. Brandon Cooks had 4. So who else? AJ Barner. Where you at, buddy? There you are. Let's go Barner. And you up right here. Barner had point 2, so I'm good there. Let's see. Anybody else in this game? So let's see. Whoops. Corum. So I need to get Rams, Bears. So Corum, I mean, he had 190, so I got him there. And then Colson Loveland, 960. And Rome, 640. So I think I won this. If that indeed is a tiebreaker, I should have this. So this team should advance. And that's a good team too, man. If the Rams can stay alive for next weekend and Patriots survive, like this is a good team to me. So I like that a lot. Hopefully, if we're on the same page, hopefully that team advances. So that's really exciting to me. I'm really proud of that team. Great work, guys. You really killed it. I've had a lot of teams die this week, which stinks. This is another one I did this past week. The Gauntlet returns. Very proud of this team. So I'm going to show these real quick. Eddie Lacy is all over this thing. I don't think it's the actual guy, but anyway, just he's always playing. So anyway, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Cooks, Walker, Shakir, Kincaid, Shaheed, Parkinson. Oh, did I not get Jason? Oh, we don't have Jason. This is going to be tough. Um, so anyway, that team advanced. We are missing half our team now since the Bills are gone. 86-56. See, like the other team tied and it was 102. So Bo Nix, rest in peace. Darnold CMC was an advanced piece for me. I guess he did contribute. RJ Harvey, KW9, Sutton, Franklin, Collins, Shaheed, Higgins. So 2 players are gone right there. Oh, I missed out on JSN again. Dang it. All right. So that's advancing. Then we got 86. This is another one. I just click on it. Oh, we have JSN for this one. So, okay, sweet. So this is essentially everyone's alive. So it's Seahawks versus Broncos. The only person that's no longer with us is unfortunately Bo Nix. Man, 25 is a great game. I don't see Sam Darnold doing that next week, but hey, I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to need him. So this is a close one too, 80 to 79. So Drake May, Sam Darnold. Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect. So I got the Patriots and Seahawks. So I think this is another real, very real possibility. So I got the running backs. I got both Seahawks running backs, and then I got Ramadre. I miss out on Trevion Henderson, which I don't need four running backs. JSN, Stephon Diggs, Henry, and then Shaheed and Barner. So I like this a lot. Both quarterbacks are still with us. So that should have a good chance at surviving next week. I believe the next round for the Gauntlet returns is a 10-man pod. Where are you? Surely you're on here somewhere. Um, it's not showing. I'm pretty sure it's a 10-man pod for this. So exciting stuff overall. Let's jump into the projections and probabilities at this point. Let me refresh this page. Um, a lot of stuff is going on with the head coaching situations too. I mean, this is probably one of the busiest off seasons we've had, or excuse me, one of the busiest coaching cycle changes we've had in several years. I think a couple years ago there was a lot of openings as well. I can't remember, um, but yeah, more teams seem to be more engaged with trying to find the right guy, trying to find that coach. The Falcons hired Kevin Stefanski. Let's see, Harbaugh got hired by the Giants, and I think those are the only two hires that have occurred to my knowledge. Um, I think a lot of teams are waiting on the playoffs to wrap up, and then they'll probably hire Clint Kubiak and some of these other coaches. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm glad the Falcons grabbed their guy. I think he's, you know, that could go either way, but I think if the Falcons had waited any longer, then they were going to get the short end of the stick. Like, there's only so many good candidates like that people consider as a top tier, and there's so many openings right now that like somebody's going to get the short end of the stick. So like the Mike McDaniel's and the Harbaughs and the Kevin Stefanskis and the Clint Kubiaks, like there's only so many of those guys going around. So I mean, somebody's going to get the short end of the stick. So I'm curious to see how it plays out, and of course, I'll provide my comments and commentary on that. And I'm sure, you guys are probably just as knowledgeable as I am, if not more knowledgeable on it, but I'll provide my commentary. But as far as the Falcons go, yeah, I'm excited to see how Kevin Stefanski does. And I'm excited to see how John Harbaugh does with Cam Scatterbo. Hopefully he gets healthy again and Jackson Dart. So playoffs. Let's go back to the playoffs. Sorry, we got sidetracked there. So we have the Broncos Patriots. Broncos expected to win at 59%. Seahawks, Rams, 65% for the Seahawks. So no major surprises there. I do think the Rams have been playing with fire these past few weeks, and they're going to have to play extremely well. And maybe they've been saving the juice for this game. This is the game where it needs to show up, though. So, Super Bowl predictions, Super Bowl probabilities here. Obviously, everything's 100% on the conference championship at this point. Super Bowl is the Seahawks, Broncos. Seahawks at 65%, Broncos at 59, Rams at 35%, and then the Patriots at 41%. So please let me know what you guys think are your Super Bowl predictions now at this point. Have they changed since the playoffs started? This playoffs has been really exciting. Aside from a few games, this playoffs has been exceptional. I mean, I don't see how you can't not be entertained by all this. A lot of teams have just played exceptionally well. Quarterbacks going down, head coaches getting fired, quarterbacks not playing well, defense is playing well. Like you've had a little bit of everything. I feel like you've had some weather games. I don't love that. I think those are very boring. But somebody loves it out there. I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe Patriots fans do. I don't know. So anyway, I guess my predictions at this point, I think the Seahawks are going to win the whole thing at this rate. If they beat the Rams next week, first off, I think whoever's on the NFC side for the Super Bowl, that's the winner, man. I don't think it's a hot take at this point, but the Seahawks and Rams are just head and shoulders above the rest at this point, especially now the Broncos lost Bo Nix. To be fair to the Broncos, I don't think losing Bo Nix is I think you need Bo Nix to win a whole thing, but I don't think it's like this catastrophic. I don't think it's like losing. I don't think it's like losing Drake May or Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, where it's over. I don't really see it as over. I think the Broncos still can make the run. I still think they can do it. The defense is good enough. I don't know anything about Jared Stidham. I really don't know a whole lot about him, but I mean, Bo Nix, like, I mean, the game was close. Like, they should not have been close, in my opinion. So, after those turnovers, should not have been close. So, I don't think it's necessarily as catastrophic as it should be. Now, I could be wrong on that. The Patriots look like they're ready to play. They're well coached. They're going to be ready to play. It's at Denver, so we'll see how that plays out. Seahawks versus Rams. Never count out Sean McVay. If they keep it close, Seahawks should win that game. But if the Rams play like they're capable of playing, they can they can do it. So Seahawks and Rams are my picks. I official. I'll go Seahawks. I'll go Patriots. I'll go Patriots now. I know I flip flopped on that, but anyway, jumping over to this on BBMDB. So I don't really know what that means, to be completely honest with you guys. But this site's been extremely useful to me. So it said to oh oh yeah, we gotta fix this real quick. Let's fix this real quick. Submitting three. Let's lose me. So I'm just gonna refresh the leaderboard. So right now there are 37,500 teams, and there are 3,750 teams advancing. 10% of the teams are advancing. Um, so, yeah. Um, so 10% of teams advancing from that number. So, teams are dying. That's how it goes, huh? I'm gonna find me. So I had 21 teams. I had three teams advancing. I would love to have pumped that number up, but hey, at least I got three. The expected was two, so I guess I exceeded expectations. um, so I'm gonna jump over to the Gauntlet returns. I think I did pretty well, all things considered. There you are. I have four teams out of 13 advancing. That's 30%. Oh, the expected was four. Okay. So that was expected. So I did pretty well there, unless that's been updated to reflect these rankings. Um, but yeah, I mean, Patrick Donovan, thank you, man. This was awesome. So, and jumping over to Fantasy Pros, do have the conference championships, but the rankings are not yet available. So I'm sure there's more to come on that later this week. So all things said, I appreciate you guys for watching, for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been having a ton of fun with this stuff. It's making the playoffs a lot more enjoyable for me. I love this fantasy football stuff. My stuff ended in week 17. I just loved how this kind of created a new element for me, especially in the playoffs, and having somebody to pull for when my teams wrap up in the regular season, and the Falcons, of course, didn't make it in the playoffs. Of course, you know that's always going to be a challenge for the Falcons, but I like what they're doing. We'll see how it plays out for them. But I'm loving this playoffs. I think it's been a lot of fun to watch, and I've been enjoying the players play well. And I can't wait to do this again next year. I wish I had discovered this a lot sooner. So I think that's part of the reason why I've been making these videos is because I didn't know about it. But I mean, I wondered if a lot of you guys know about this type of stuff. So I think it's awesome. I think it's a lot of fun. So anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts and my commentary with all you guys. But yeah, my winnings out at 620 so far. I mean, so far I have made $268 out of this. So hell yeah, baby. I'll probably do more drafts or pick them. So anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any comments or feedback. If you have been playing this as well, please let me know. I would love to see your teams too. I'm very invested in hearing what you guys have been doing if you guys have teams. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week, and I'll provide you a preview for then, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'm sure it's gonna be tough next week because I've got a 10-man pod next week, and I got to survive again. So I hope I have a team that makes it to the Super Bowl, but I know the odds are against me. So we'll see how it plays out. But again, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week.